Ange, we're not going to do a normal video I usually do about real estate and the economy, but this kind of has something to do with the economy and real estate after all, okay?
Okay.
Society is really hanging on by a thread. I've never seen it like this. I'm not going to go into everything that's been happening on the news. I'm not going to talk about Charlie Kirk. I'm not going to talk about the poor girl on the train. I'm not going to talk about that stuff, okay? But we're going down a path that I think is going to be a point of no return. Am I being negative on this video? Yeah, probably. I'm being a little bit negative, but this is my opinion. I want your opinion. I want you guys' opinion too. I want to go down the path of what's causing this, okay? Who's to blame, okay? And people can say, well, you could blame a lot of different people, but I have my opinion who's to blame, and I'll explain it towards the end, because I'm not even taking credit of who's to blame. There was another video done on YouTube, and this person did an amazing job of explaining who's to blame. And I'm like, you know what? That makes 100% sense. And I'll put his link below because I'm going to give him credit for it. But what could we do to resolve this stuff? All right. In the meantime, if you do like this kind of content, do me a favor, consider subscribing. And if you need a real estate agent, just my phone number is below. All right. Let's start off with the warning signs, okay? First, let's talk about economic inequality, okay? The top 1% of Americans owns 30% of the nation's wealth. Meanwhile, most people haven't seen real wage growth in decades. That kind of divide is a recipe for resentment. True or false?
To me, that's not a true or false question because
Okay.
I look at it like this. Okay, let's take those rich just out of the equation,
All right.
just for this conversation right now, for this question.
Well, these
No,
came
but I'm
out,
saying-
yeah, but these came from, just so you know, these are what people have been saying.
I get it, yeah.
And
So all I'm saying is like because when you take the bottom half where you know that. I can understand if this was the 70s and things were like different because in my opinion, because I know how I am, how I work and I'm busy all the time. So, and that's because I make myself busy. Like I go out and I seek the jobs.
Right.
And so like in today's day and age, I could be wrong, but it's just my opinion that it's a lot easier to try to get yourself out of that bottom run and move up because there are a lot more opportunities. And like YouTube, for argument's sake, how many people on YouTube are making like lots of money? You know what I mean? And YouTube won't stop you from making a video on your own phone and creating an account and posting it. So there's many opportunities. I just think, because I come across some people that are just lazy. They just don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? I've had people work for me.
So basically, we're going to the next subject, but you're saying that the opportunity is there.
The opportunity is there if you
But you just think that some people just
don't want to take advantage of
take advantage of it. All right, that's fine. I wanted your opinion. Okay, let's talk about this one. We're also seeing massive decline in trust. In the 1960s, more than 70% of Americans trusted the government to do the right thing. Today, less than 20%. And that's a stat, okay? So you're talking
and I believe that. I don't trust the government at all.
All right, in the 60s, 70% trusted the government.
Which I find outrageous.
But yeah, I mean, we had Vietnam, we had
No, but what I'm saying, and all that was going on, I find it outrageous that people actually believed them, that they were actually telling them the truth. You know how many things they were probably hiding from them? And it's like, I put it this way, I don't even believe you at this point. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's nothing personal, but it's like, do your research, which you did there. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
that's why I'm asking your opinion.
Yeah. I don't believe like, like anything they tell you. And what's funny is, over time now, 25 or 50 years, there are things that were like, let's call it like a known fact, so to speak. And then you find out years later that it was 100% wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they used to say smoking was okay for you. Yeah. Remember? All right. Let's talk about another one. These are the warning signs, okay? Mental health is silent alarm. Suicide rates have jumped by nearly 30% since the year 2000.
Wow.
And deaths from drug overdoses, those are at record highs.
And you know what? I put it this way. I don't have an addictive personality, so I don't understand people getting hooked on like drugs and alcohol.
They do. It's a disease.
I know, but to me, it just I don't. I've never experienced it, and hopefully never will. So it's hard for me to relate.
I never experienced it either. I never really hung out with anybody, but from what I understand, and I'm not a counselor don't know anything really about this, but from what people say is like you take heroin, next thing you know, you're craving it.
Yeah, and I've heard the same exact thing, and I believe it. And so I say to myself, if you never took it, why start now? You know what I mean?
But the warning sign is there, mental health. All right, let's talk about this one. Crime isn't what it used to be in the 90s, but the perception of lawlessness is back. Big cities are seeing spikes in certain violent crimes, and many people feel less safe. Right now, it's like in the 80s when I was
There
growing
was
up.
crime back then.
There was crime back then, but it wasn't like, if a cop came up to us and say, hey, what are you doing? We're like, hey, yes, sir, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
But now it doesn't seem like,
Now it's like, get the hell out of here. Leave me alone. I'm stealing these diamonds.
yeah.
You know? It's like,
Why are you bothering me?
yeah, you're ruining my vibe here. I'm trying to rob this guy.
Yeah, I got it. If you want to watch it, go and
On YouTube. I'm filming it. Filming the crime.
But people aren't afraid of the law anymore.
I know, but here's the other thing. Now, I watch a lot of YouTube, as you know, and I've told you in the past, I like watch a lot of those court ones, the court clips, and the cop ones from the lawyers and stuff like that. And let's be honest, there's a lot of good police officers in this world and in this country.
They're awesome.
Yeah, but they're all the one who's the banana head.
And that's where everybody's going to focus on.
Exactly, and that's what
don't
happens.
forget, towards the end, I'm going to tell you who I think is to blame for all this.
But what I'm getting at is then people see that stuff and they take that one apple that spoils the whole barrel and they equate like, well, I don't have to give them respect because it is one banana head.
How many cops did me and you know? Nassau County cops, Queens cops,
my God,
Suffolk County
so
cops
many.
growing up. Every other friend was a cop.
And you know how many times we would doing something that was stupid, and if you would just respectful and admit and they would be like, all right, do me a favor, just be careful and go home. That was it.
All right, so here's another warning sign, and this one is a big one too. Okay, political polarization is tearing families and communities apart. We are no longer debating ideas. We basically going after each other.
Yeah, now, okay, I have a little bit of an inside track on this.
Go for it. Yeah, that's the reason why I wanted Ange on this, is because he's part of the industry that I blame. Okay? And I'll explain in detail why. Go for it.
Now, when you talk about like the political side, like you take the blue and the red, we'll call them, right? So, and the blue is talking, a blue guy is talking stuff about a red guy, meaning like politicians. And the funny thing is, it's all for the camera. Once those cameras turn off and those guys walk down the hall, the cameras,
of course.
They're best of friends. It's all political theater. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's definitely stuff that happens. But if I was to say on a scale of 100, I'd probably say somewhere between 70 and 85% is political theater.
But that's one of the biggest problems.
Exactly.
That's one of the biggest problems. I mean, politicians, they shouldn't, like, somebody on one side could say, hey, I cured cancer. Here's the thing. Screw you.
Yeah, no, because you're not getting you and your people aren't getting the credit for it.
Yeah, so we don't want it.
No, I know, and it's
there's a problem with it.
It's like every day when I get up and I do what I got to do. If someone tells me they got a better way of doing it, or hey, I see we can do this, or open arms, bring it on. I welcome it. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be the smartest guy in the room. Because if I am, then we're in a dumb room. It's like I need people around me to throw ideas and challenge me that I can think and take.
What about this one? Fewer people go to church, join local clubs, or even know their neighbors. This social isolation is real. It makes communities weaker.
Now, I agree with that.
I agree with that because, see, when me and Ange grew up, we were in this club called Sports Club, okay? It's not really much about sports, but it was...
We did play sports, though.
We did play sports. But it was a group of kids. We got together, and believe it or not, it built a brotherhood, and we are still friends till this day. I'm talking about 45, 50 years.
We're talking from the early 80s, late 70s.
Yeah, like I joined Sports Club, believe it or not, in 79.
Yeah, I think you were the youngest ever.
I was the youngest ever to join.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
So the problem is we had that closeness. Now the kids, and you guys tell me if you're probably saying like you're freaking old, but the kids don't have that interaction. They have the interaction with their phones. Like the relationships we had with the guys and the girls was now the relationships with their phones and social media and texting.
Yeah.
Am I off base on
No,
that?
you're 100% correct on that.
It's one of the biggest.
Yeah. I saw, put it this way, this is so crazy. I saw a news clip the other day on that guy that shot the United Healthcare CEO.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw a girl that was dressed like some, I don't know, weird anime character. And she literally said to the news camera, like, I am married to the guy that did the shooting. I don't remember. His name is Luigi something.
I have no idea.
She goes, I am married to his AI. I was
insane.
like, yeah, I was like, what?
But the whole thing is, like, people that glorify murder, what's wrong with you?
Oh, you put it this way, you could say,
I don't
like,
care what side you're on. I'm not talking about
Yeah.
politics. I'm just talking about if something bad happens to somebody, there are people that glorify it, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
those people got mental issues.
It does. It's
Unless
just
you get the one who's doing it for the thrill of the camera, like they're the one that's being paid that no one realizes to be the
there is mental illness. Okay,
Yep.
there's definitely mental illness,
And we have more of it
and we're
now.
going to talk about that. But
man, do we
but
get
come on, there's a little bit thing. Okay. We also, here's another one. We've also got crisis of purpose. More people feel lost, disconnected, unsure what role they play in society. That creates a vacuum in extremists,
Well, that comes back to the previous question.
Right.
Because they're lost in the social media. They're married to the AI.
Yeah, I'm not saying go to church.
They're talking. They're talking to Siri as their best friend. It's like, what the
people
hell?
have relationships with AI.
GTP chat.
Yeah, like they have names for each other.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm like, hey, once they build robots that can touch and feel and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? But you know what? Those people complain because they won't be able to afford the robot.
Okay, even our institutions are crumbling. Congress has become a place of political theater more than lawmaking. Courts are politicizing media is distrusted.
Oh,
True
yeah.
or false?
Oh, 100% true.
I don't
again.
even have to go into it because you can just watch
Anything.
C-SPAN or whatever. They're just yelling over each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if somebody did something excellent. It doesn't matter. The other side is going to complain. And I'm not talking about just Republicans. I'm talking about Republicans who complain about Democrats.
It goes both ways. Yeah, 100%.
So this is not a political thing. Okay. Here's a huge one. Okay. Warning, part of the warning signs. At a declining birth rate and aging population, you got a long-term social time bomb. Fewer younger workers are supporting more retirees and huge economic stressor. So less and less people are having kids.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a huge, and it's not me saying it. I mean, Elon Musk has a big thing on it. It's just in Japan they're having the issue. All over the world, China's having the issue.
And it's more than just a support chain, meaning like who's coming in to do the work. It's a whole lot. It's actually for the existence of humanity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it'll get to the break point where there's no coming back. And it'll get to the point, with evolution, where all of a sudden, with all like the artificial stuff they put in
robots
food.
doing the job.
No, but I'm just saying about all the stuff they put in food. Like, I don't know if when you were doing that research, if you saw anything about the sperm counts, like men's sperm counts are all down, and it's because
I didn't go that deep into it.
But I've seen it a few times. They talk about it, and it's because there's so many like plastics in food. Like they use plastic in bread, edible plastics, and all that changes the makeup of the your DNA, your body over the years. And so I saw a big thing about that, and it was like, hey, that's another reason why infertility, like some people are trying, like you ever hear people like, we've been trying for so long, they can't happen. And that's because the rate is down.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I mean, that's not awesome. That's not awesome.
No, I know.
It's awesome that you knew about that.
Yeah, it's like, well, I watch a lot of news, so.
All right, look at the public school system. Many underfunded, overcrowded, and dealing with teacher shortages shapes the next generation and outlook. So basically, also, I won't even go into that, but like in Greece, I read this article that it's like 700 schools are closing, a number of schools, because they need at least 17 kids in a school to keep it going. And
in a school or in a class?
In the school.
Really? So the schools are small?
Yeah, yes, from the article. And they can't even get that, so they're closing schools left and right because nobody's having kids.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Religious affiliation is dropping fast. In the 1970s, around 90% of Americans identified as religious. Today, it's closer to 60%. And listen, when it comes to religion.
I do know that that number is actually starting to creep up because I notice from the work I do, a lot of younger kids. I don't want to say like grade school stuff like that, but kids in high school and kids in college. A lot of them are probably the last 2 to 3 years starting to become a little bit more religious.
Well, like I'm religious. I'm not talking about like. Okay,
I mean, they're not going to go to church every Sunday kind of thing, but they're not denying like the existence of their religion.
but what I'm saying too is when it comes to religion, it's just the sense of community. It's like religion. I don't care what religion. It's not like you're going to go in there and teach people, how to hurt other people. It's most of the time, it's for the good.
Yeah, to come together, help each other out. Yeah.
Here's a big one, and they're trying to do it. The opiate epidemic is still devastating communities, and it's not just a health crisis; it's a social one.
And that makes that one, not meaning what you read, makes no sense to me. The sense that with all these drugs that are coming out there, and they all got the fentanyl in it, and the fentanyl kills. I don't understand. If you were a drug dealer, why would you want to put something that's going to kill your customers? You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, but the whole
I don't
thing
get
is-
it. What am I missing here?
But the whole thing is, when all the kids again, like go to the doctor, medicated.
Oh yeah,
give them this,
ADD, BCJ, Q.
I'm not,
it's
not a doctor. I'm not trying to act like a doctor, but we didn't have that stuff.
No, it's like you go run it off around the corner.
It's funny. This is on Facebook. There's this thing that comes up. It says, "Oh, in the '80s we were like this."
Oh, they show you like the AI thing.
Yeah, the AI thing in the '80s. I've been watching that stuff. I was like, that's true. It's like, where would you rather be, 2025 or back in the 80s?
Yeah, they show you the kids like on the Stingray bikes, no helmets, jumping ramps,
all that stuff. It's like we're still here.
No, I know.
Okay. Here's another one. There's a visible rise in homelessness in many cities. That's not just about housing. It's about system breaking down. Like houses are just getting stupid expensive. Rent's getting stupid expensive. There's more people living in cars now.
Yeah, but here's now I understand that whole thing, but I start to wonder, like, what's the back end of that story? Meaning, like you say, like people living in cars. Like, what did their situation turn into that they're living in a car? Is it a mental health thing? Did they lose their job? Like, no one ever. I don't know. I've never seen it dug down.
I think it's lack of family nucleus, like a lack of family. I think family is a big positive if you're part of a family.
Yeah,
okay?
totally. I totally agree.
It doesn't have to be blood related. I'm talking about close
friends, whatever.
Like, that you call.
It's like I always tell people, he's my brother.
Yeah, but it's, and I think another big thing too is, and I know some people have no choice in this because things happen, but when there's two parents in the household, I think it helps.
I would agree on that. Totally.
All right, we're also seeing rising rates in anxiety, depression among teens, young adults, often tried social media and lack of purpose. I think, in my opinion, you guys tell me what you guys think. I think that social media is great for connecting with old friends. Like I'm having a 40th anniversary reunion high school in New York. And I think that's great, and Facebook helped put that together. So there's positives, but I think it's doing more damage than good.
I totally 100,000 billion% agree. It's like, I couldn't agree more. Social media has remember when rap music first came out and they were like, rap music is, ruining society. It's doing this, it's doing that. And that was just a song, like words that were played, whether it was on the airway or on your CD player or your cassette player. Now it's like when you look at social media, because there is video attached to it, like you ever see the fight videos of like some kid standing in line at class and somebody runs up behind him and punches him in the face and everyone's cheering him on? There's like 80,000 of those.
Yeah, but it's like I don't understand why people get. All right, let's go right into who's to blame, okay? And then after this list, I'm going to tell you my opinion.
It comes down to one person.
Be careful what you say.
One person.
Okay, let's start at the top. Political elites from both parties have kicked, just agree or disagree, kicked the can down the road for everything from healthcare to infrastructure. They let the short-term wins matter more than long-term solutions.
Yeah, you don't even have to get into that. That's 100% true.
Okay, big corporation, they're part of it too. Offshoring jobs, automated labor, influence politics, and massive lobbying budgets.
Yeah, they don't even care what they produce. They just want to know they got a high stock price. That's
All right.
it.
The media got dirty hands, whether it's cable news, social media, algorithms, they thrive off outrage. They help divide
Yeah.
us for clicks and profits.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to stop there and talk about this one a little bit because this is what I was going to say, and you're going to have to explain this. News, TV, ABC, all of them, just entertainment industry, okay? I don't care what side. This person was saying that people have to pick sides, either very conservative or very liberal, because they need an audience. And if they're in the middle and just saying the news, they don't get the ratings that somebody that's very to the left or very to the right or very like conservative,
Outrageous or whatever it is. Yeah, I get. And you know what? The person is right on that, because it's like watching the car wreck. You can't turn away. You know what I'm saying? The accident.
They do it on purpose. They
100%.
They know the entertainment industry knows what they're doing, but they're like, hey, at the end of the day, we need to make money.
Yeah, and in order to make money, you got to be controversial.
Yeah, let's piss somebody off.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's just show somebody.
And then the crazy thing is that now the people that like hate it or be like, I can't stand that person, or they're lying, they multiply the viewership for them. Because then I tell you, you tell that person, before you know it, there's 10 of us watching. Now us 10 have told 100, now there's 100 more watching. But the funny part is the one guy who knows it's all crap, but he's in on it. I know it's all BS. He say he doesn't watch.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, they're taking the population and they're making them like puppets. They know how to control them.
Well, the thing is
and they make radical people, like between social media, people getting desensitized, like playing these video games that just shoot people in the head, and instead of being outside just enjoying each other's company, people are getting desensitized, and these corporations are pushing the narrative to make money. And then what happens? Yeah, people get go crazy.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it goes back like thousands of years to start with, but it's like, if you take Jesus, you know what I mean? How they turned everyone against Jesus. If you believe in Jesus, how they turned everyone against Jesus, and the people were throwing stones at him and stuff like that. And here was a guy that was just preaching, hey, be good to each other. So it's
been happening for a long time, but
that's what I'm saying. It's been going on, and it's worse.
We're getting to the point because we're letting these entertainment industries and these corporations play us like puppets. I know people are gonna be like, saying, "What the hell are you saying?"
No,
but they are. But they are, because
they're guiding your day, what you do, how you do it, what you buy,
think,
what you
what
eat,
you believe,
what you think.
and like. I watch
everything.
a lot of news outside this country that talks about this country, because they have a kind of different view on some stuff.
But you know what's funny about that, and I get that. But when you look at those countries and you look at what's going on interior in their stuff, man, it's worse than here. Like in England, you can get arrested for just like putting a bad review up on Instagram of a restaurant you ate at. Next thing you know, the next day the cops are at your front door and they're arresting you.
Yeah, I don't
There's
think
no
that's
freedom
right.
of speech.
No, that should be freedom of speech. But
yeah,
I'm a big believer in freedom of speech, obviously, because I do this channel, but not to the point that somebody else will physically get hurt.
yeah, no, you should put it this way. You can't shout fire in a crowded movie theater. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, that's like stupid. You
shouldn't be screaming movie at a fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning like, oh, let's film it and look at all the carnage and put it out there and get a million hits.
But
for 49 cents,
that's what the entertainment industry does. They want that on recordings.
See, but here's the funny thing about the entertainment industry.
Go ahead. Are they to blame first?
Well,
you work for them, so.
Well, and I got no problem saying if they already aren't. But the thing is that they're not the ones to blame, right? They just fostered it, right? It literally, and I bring it down to one person, and it's not this person's fault because he himself didn't see where this was all going to go.
All right, take a thing. Just take a little thing.
No, and it all comes down to the Facebook. When Mark Zuckerberg
okay.
made Facebook,
All right, Facebook.
he meant it for people to connect with each other. Like he had all good intentions and had nothing
like
to do
Facebook,
with him.
from what I understand, was just for people to know it was for a college by itself.
By its only, yeah.
And it was just to find out, and then it got bigger when people said, "Hey, are you single or are you dating somebody?"
And that's what I'm saying. Like it morphed into something, and at a certain point, and it's nothing against him. He at a certain point you lose control.
All right, so let's go on to the next one. The tech world is given amazing tools, but created echo chamber that reinforce our worst impulses.
Again, huh? Echo chamber, worse.
Yeah, like Facebook. Like if somebody posts a video, like of something bad happening to somebody or a car crash, and then somebody else is gonna post it on.
Yeah, like they're gonna repost and all that stuff.
Repost
Yeah,
it.
okay.
So it's like an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, though. We're not just victims. We're allowed apathy to take over. Low voter turnout, social disengagement, misinformation spreading like wildfire.
Yeah, we're not victims. We're participants.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. And nobody knows what's true. What's not even videos anymore. I'm like, my wife was showing me this video. She's like, oh my God, look at this whale took out this. I'm like, is that even real? And it's like, AI is getting so good that you don't know if the photos are real. You don't know if people saying it is real. You don't know if the video's real.
I deal with AI every day, and we voiceovers. We do AI voiceovers, just because we don't want to get like the producers or the screenwriters or whoever to read what needs to be say voiceovered. Because, you might have a nasally voice or a deep voice, whatever it is. And it's like, hey, can we just get this to sound like one person? So we go to an AI app and we do it. And do you know how many times we've actually got to the mastering part, where it's ready to go to air? And then somebody realizes, hey, that's AI, right? Or is that the guy that was supposed to be reading it? Can't even tell anymore. Because we can even get the AI to sound almost identical to the person who's supposed to be reading it and getting paid for it.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And then we have to go look at the files.
Like on YouTube, when people are creating YouTube, you go into these programs now, and if you said something you don't want to say, you could just delete it in the transcript and type in something else, and it'll just say it.
I saw something on YouTube the other day about an AI, this Nano Banana AI application, and the guy was just doing took a picture of himself, and he kind of matted it out, so it's just him, like he did the magic thing on his phone. And then he said, put me in like a Starbucks, for argument's sake, and have a chimney behind me, and have two people sitting at the table, make one of them a blonde, the other a redhead. And it was literally within seconds.
I know. That's why a lot of people go to the
And then he put a beard on himself, and it looked and it was him.
All right, what about this one? Who's to blame? Okay, we've prioritized personal freedom so much that we have forgotten about collectively responsibility. He needs to lose weight. I'll leave that in.
Oh my God.
Cracked right there. I'll leave that part in. Yeah, all right.
Oh, that shit is funny, guy. Keep talking. Keep going. Oh my God, these plastic crappy chairs.
Hey, then your chair is not mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can sit here. I felt it going. You say, nope.
You're gonna fall in the water.
Hang on.
All right. It's another chum. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, that was so funny.
Okay.
Actually, this is better. You should do this. You have freedom of your arms.
All right.
Oh, that is funny.
Let's go.
You got to show them the broken chair.
Yeah. All right. We prioritize freedom over, collective responsibilities. That means we care about each other. I mean, we care about ourselves more than a collective. You agree?
Oh, 100%. It's all about you, and not meaning you personally,
right.
But you know what I mean. It's everyone that, everything happens to me. Why can't I have this? Why can't I be doing? And it's like, and then they never get off the couch, and they're just sitting there on Instagram or whatever the app is they use. All
right. The rich and the powerful have used their influence to rig the rules in their favor, and they've rarely held accountability.
Well, put it this way, if I was in the rich and the powerful, I'd be using that to rig it to my favor too. I mean, if you could rig it and you were broke, you'd be trying to rig it. That's just the
Yeah,
way
but see,
people
I
are.
think
I mean,
I'm more like,
put it this way, and I always say this, there's nothing wrong with greed. I know we're going to get a ton of comments about that, but greed can be good on a certain level because, like, say the greed is that you're trying to, like, because greed doesn't mean, oh, give me all. You know what I mean? But greed could be like you're not going to give up on something. You're going to make this work. You're going to see it to the end. You know, and it's like that's where I say it can be good. Now, if you're the greed that's like, I want to be the miser and have all the money and control all the power and all the people, yeah, we got a problem because it should never be that centralized to like one person or 10 people or even 100 people.
right.
I mean, and your example
But-
there is about that. Where
Yeah,
it's
but I'm to the point in my life that I really care more about family, friends, you know, and just I don't care about stuff as much anymore.
no, I don't. It's like
You
I
know-
don't even care. It's kind of funny. I'm going to say this, and people are going to be like, you know, I don't know the response we'll get from this and this one I'm going to say right now, but it's like I'm at the point where I also don't care about the money, and it's like I'll do a job now, you know, where if it's a cool job, I'll just do it because it's a cool
Oh
job.
yeah, I do the same thing. It's,
You
it's
know?
but maybe you know some people are going to comment. Then I understand what they're coming from. They're gonna say
I
it's
do
easy.
too. I understand that, yeah.
It's easy for you guys to say that. You know.
Yeah, no, and it's honestly not because I've done things where like I wanted to work with a team of guys because they were my friends and I hadn't worked with them for like 5 years, and they come and they say to me, hey, you know what? We know you normally get $10, but we can only give you $6. And I'm like, how long's the job for? And they're like, oh, we're only gonna be working on it for 4 months. And I'm like, all right, just to hang out with you guys, I can make that work.
All right, what about this one? But it's not just economics. Our education system has failed to teach civics, ethics, critical thinking at a scale we need.
Yeah, like
I agree with that.
teaching got like very politicized.
Yeah, and they should keep it just to teaching. Don't bring politics.
Yeah, there should be
into-
nothing. It should
nothing political on either side when it
No.
comes to teaching. Okay, and that's where it's going wrong.
But the other thing too is like parents have to be more involved,
Great.
and they're not in some places. You know.
All right, we also stopped investing in communities, public spaces, local events, libraries. These things matter more than people realize. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. No, it's true. You know, they pull the funding from it and stuff, and it's like, or they start condensing them. So now, like, if you had to get to your public library, it could be 3 miles away, and you're this 14-year-old kid. It's like, how am I going to get there? You know, because not everyone has a computer, not everyone has an iPad or even a phone. You know what I'm saying? They make it like today, like everyone has this
How
stuff.
did we survive without phones, iPads, all that stuff?
Honestly, well, think about it. We were always out. You'd come home from school. Some kids did their homework after school. Some kids did their homework later, if you had any. And there was always like the central meeting place,
Yeah,
you know,
we
and
knew
you were
where to
out.
go.
And then when the sun went down, you were like, okay, it's time to go home.
All right, social media platforms designed to addict and divide. We can't ignore their role in fueling mental health issues and polarization.
It's
That's
100%.
true. That's
It's 100% true.
Extreme political movements have gained traction because people are basically. What's that? I forgot the word they use. Basically, when you see something so often, you get
You're desensitized.
desensitized to
Yeah.
it. You know, and people lose hope in the system, and that's a big thing. I know this video is a little longer, but stuff is important because
And
we're in trouble.
I know. And you know what's crazy about this? All of this is actual common sense.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just sit back. Don't rush into something. Actually take the breath and think about it for a moment, and you'd probably come out with a better decision every time.
And we're going to go into things what could fix it. So public discourse has collapsed. People yell more than they listen. Outrage wins over every time.
Well, it's the old saying, he who always speaks never listens. You know what I mean? It's like they don't want to hear. It's as if their opinion matters. And just because you raised your voice doesn't mean you're right.
Our justice system overloaded, underfunded, unevenly applied. That erodes the belief in fairness of the law. I agree with that.
I agree with that, but I don't want to say to an extent, because there are, like, you know, when you had all that in the last couple of years, the rioting and things like that, and then somebody came up with the no cash bail, You know, and it's like, so you got arrested for mugging somebody and you were out an hour later. Then you got
Or that
arrested.
thing in California. You're from California.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, you can steal up to $900 or whatever.
$939, whatever it is, and it used to be lower. And then they raised. It used to be much lower. They raised it.
I saw
so
this.
because they didn't want to deal with it.
So I literally saw. I don't know if it was a joke or whatever. So the person's going into a store. I don't know if it was a Target in California, and TV was $1,000, but they put it on sale. So now it was under the
$998 or whatever the
so
limit
now
is.
because it went on sale, he picks it up and leaves.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's the truth. People would go in and they'd actually add up items.
That's funny.
And then the store employees were told not to do anything.
Culture institutions have lost their influence. Art, literature, faith used to help shape national values. Now they're drowned out.
Yeah. You're 100% correct on that,
If I ask a lot of young people history questions or what we learned,
they don't know anything.
They don't know nothing. Okay.
You know how many times I've said stuff to people, because I work with people in their right now I'm working with a guy that's probably like 32, and we would it's you know how guys are. It's always dick and fart jokes, and it's always like movie quotes and stuff like that. And we were talking, and I brought up a couple of movies from like the 80s. Smokey and the Bandit was one. He's never seen Smokey and the Bandit, right? Never seen Jaws. He's never saw Jaws. And ready for this? This is the one that blew me away. And I actually said, no way, you're lying to me. There's no way you never saw this movie. He's like, I'm telling you. He's like, I never saw it. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. All right, let's talk about how we could fix everything, okay? Not that this is going to happen, but here's some ideas. We need to rebuild trust, and starts with transparency in government and media and everyday interactions. We need to be transparent and just be honest about everything.
But the thing is even if it's hard to even trust the transparency, because is the person telling you everything you need to know?
We need to value community again. Join a local group, volunteer, talk to your neighbors. That's how reliance starts. It's true. I mean, do you talk to your neighbors?
A couple of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like everyone that lives in my cul-de-sac, I talk to, and in several throughout the block, because I'm like the unelected mayor of where I live.
I know a lot of people that it's like, how's your neighbor? Like, I never talk to them.
Yeah.
We don't even
See,
look
I
up.
have a dog, so I walk my dog a lot, and I wind up having conversations with people.
Okay, we need to stop rewarding outrages and start rewarding substance. We can demand better from the media and politicians. So when somebody does something stupid, we have to stop rewarding them for it.
Well, not only that, you have to, it's not even like that reward there. I mean, you need to start voting out politicians. Like, people shouldn't be in office for 30 years. You don't think they're bought and paid for?
Oh, yeah, by then. Probably.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, technology isn't going away, but we need to build a healthier habits with it. Log off sometimes, seek out opposing views.
Yeah, or at least, like, if you're, this is what I do every day when I get up. I'll go, whether it's on my phone or on the computer, depending on where I am, I go look at various different news sites. Like, I'll hit, like, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, Yahoo, USA Today. I even look, at Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and I'll even go to, like, some international papers, and I just see what's kind of trending, what's out there, who's talking about what. And that's how I just get a rounding of what's going on around me.
Mental health deserves a much more focus as physical health. So basically, we need to normalize asking for help and fund systems to provide it. So just like we're doing physical health, we need to focus on mental health.
Nobody ever wants to talk about mental health, though.
But it's important.
I know. It's...
So economy, we need to support policies that close the gap. Fair wages, tax reforms, invest in workers, not just the shareholders. Okay, that one is like, I'm not saying force.
That's a double-edged sword,
It's a double-edged sword, to bring it up on there. But I'm just saying is there's better ways to encourage people to work and treat them good. I think it's, if you treat somebody with value and, respect, I think you get a lot more from them, okay? We'll leave it at that on that one. Civic education needs to come back. Young people need to understand how the system works and how to spot misinformation and why democracy matters.
It does. You actually. I'm not saying you got to go say the Pledge of Allegiance and the way we used to when we went to class before school started in the morning, but you need to have there needs to be some sort of communication. Something needs to be talked about.
We need leadership, not just politics, but culture, faith, and community. We need to start that. Our problems are complex, but not impossible. Other countries has figured this out. Why can't we? Some countries are pretty good.
Well, now I'm not going to say they aren't. They definitely are. But then there's some countries that have a lot of problems.
I mean, it starts with a mindset. That's what it starts with, a mindset. And local news, needs to, and national media have to stop being so polarizing. I know they do it for the money. I know they do it to have the audience, but it has to be a way that you could have the audience and you could have the revenue without dividing us.
Well, the thing also is that, like, if you're gonna show the piece, like, say something, whether it's bad or good, right, and you're gonna show the news segment, the person who's conducting the news segment, whether it's the anchor or the person in the field, they can't have a bias to it, and they always do. That's where you have to just be down there. You just have to just report the news, and that's it. Don't go and say, "Oh, it's such a shame," or "I know the guy meant good." No, leave all that commentary out. Just say an accident happened at 3:00 on the corner of 2 people were injured, and that's it.
Well, let me ask you this, okay? Because I watch Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff, but I don't watch horror flicks. I don't watch crime stuff, murder stuff.
I don't either.
Anything. I like just nice ending.
I like romantic comedies.
Yeah, I like romantic comedies, but if you notice, the TV shows and most of the movies are a crime drama or
crime pays. It's like it gets people in. It draws them in. Like put it this way. I like the show Tulsa, right? Now Tulsa,
Stallone?
Yeah, right. Great show. Now here's the funny thing. It is about crime, like organized crime, but it has a comedic element to it. Like, he didn't just do it like he's doing Goodfellas and everyone's getting a head bashed in. It's got a comedic element. And I think if he would probably admit that, because he even cracks jokes.
Yeah, but we need more movies that are feel-good movies.
Oh, no, you definitely need more Back to the Futures, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, National Treasure.
National Treasure. You need, even like, like Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Like, I'm just not going back to the 80s. It's like, Matthew McConaughey was the king of the rom-coms. And it's like, you need more of those. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's like there's a lot of things out there.
There's people there that are controlling everybody. They are. I mean, we have to go back to the basics. We have to stop this individual, separation of people. We have to work as a group. We're all on the planet together. We're all on, we need to be more closer together.
Yeah, as Rodney King said, why can't we all get along?
Yeah, it's true. Why can't we get along?
He literally said that. Why can't we all just get along? And it's the truth. It's like, why does it got to be such a divide? It's so funny because they say, like, they always say, like, we're a country, a united country, and we're really a divided country, right? And they always say, there's power in unity, and it's like, well, you don't have any, so you got no power. So everyone is trying to vie for that power, but they're doing it the wrong way. Now what's happening since, and like you said, we don't want to talk about Charlie Kirk, but since what happened there, you've seen a turn. Something's starting to happen. Now, I don't know if it's going to last, if it's going to be good or go bad. I don't know.
But the whole thing is, at the end of the day, it was horrible what happened.
No, and then to have the crazier thing is okay, it was posted in a billion places, and then they showed people like imitating it. And
I know, and that's mental illness. Think about it. It's freaking people losing relationships with their own family, with their parents, with their brothers, with their sisters, over freaking politics.
Yeah,
it's
which
the
is so
stupidest
stupid
thing I've ever.
Especially it changes every 2 to 4 years.
Then people are saying, "Oh, I'm taking people off Facebook. I'm unfriending them." Okay, fine, unfriend them. But again, if you were friends with them for a long time, talk to them. Say, "Hey, listen, don't fight. Just."
You have to have, you got exactly. It's all put this way. When countries stop communicating during like a crisis, that's when war breaks out.
Listen, I got a couple good friends. Me and Ange, same friends, and they're a little bit on the liberal side. You know, but we still go to lunch. We still get along.
100%. And you know what?
We still have fun.
And we laugh at them, and they laugh at us. You know what I'm saying?
But it's
and
like you know, harm never crosses my mind.
No, and it also never crosses my mind to say I'm never talking to that guy again.
No, because at the end of the day, you know, we're only here for a short period of time. Anyways, I really went on long for this video.
That's okay.
But this is an important video. Do me a favor, comment below, share this video. This is a really important one, and consider subscribing. A lot of work does go into these videos. It's greatly appreciated. You need to contact me. My phone number's below. Thanks, and have a great day.